seated. Welcome, everyone. I just love this time of year when we get to do this pinning in this church. It's all decorated in Christmas, and it's just a marvelous time to have this ceremony. I do have a few housekeeping announcements. We know that this is a celebratory time for your graduating nursing students and OTD. Please refrain from any yelling, air horns, cowbells, or anything like that. This is a church. Please silence your cell phones and no flash photography. If you want a close-up of the pinning, feel free to recreate it after the ceremony. Each graduate will receive a flower that is a gift from Jennifer Scholl, our Chief Nursing Officer at Kettering Health. At the end of the service, please remain seated until the students and faculty have recessed out of the sanctuary. We also have a gift for all the graduates that's out on the table. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Professor Kimberly Hatcher. I want to welcome you all here. Every year, the graduates have an opportunity to recognize their peers for Christian caring, nursing leadership, and professionalism. Tonight, I'm going to present the Professional Nursing Peer Award. The recipient must consistently demonstrate compassionate care, strong ethical values, lifelong learning, accountability, responsibility, flexibility, teamwork, and collaboration. The recipient for Professional Nursing Award is Rachel Larabina.
Good evening. My name is Devin Skinner, and I will be presenting the Nursing Leadership Award. The recipient must demonstrate excellent leadership abilities, dedicated to learning, and willing to help others. The recipient for the Nursing Leadership Award is Heather Williams.
I am Professor Sakira Toddy, and I'm here to present the Christian Caring Peer Award. The recipient for the Christian Caring Award must demonstrate the following qualities: provides nursing care in the tradition of the Master Healer, values individuals as persons made in God's image, gives compassionate care as a response to the understanding God's love and grace towards humanity, fosters optimum health, restoration, and the quality of life in suffering and dying, and provides service in which God's divine spirit is revealed. The recipient for the Christian Caring Award is Aurora Turner.
Well, good evening, everyone. So exciting to see all you graduates. My name is Rhonda Brandstater, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer and Vice President of Patient Care at the Kettering Health Dayton campus here at Kettering Health. And I have the honor of presenting the Called to Care Award tonight. This award goes to a graduating nursing student who really exemplifies exceptional care, cares for the whole person, and has a genuine character of compassion, respect, and integrity. This student is someone who really sees nursing as a sacred calling and extends a healing ministry of their love, their compassion, and their nursing skill to every patient. The recipient of this award is a student who is seeking full-time work in the Kettering Health System, has maintained a minimum GPA of at least 3.5, and has a minimum of 1 nursing faculty recommendation. So this award, you will get the award and $500. And tonight, this award goes to Aurora Turner.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future.
Good evening, everyone. I am pleased to introduce our speaker for this evening, Miriam Cartmel. Miriam Cartmel completed her nursing education at Conestoga College, Stratford campus in Ontario, Canada in 1976. After moving first to New Orleans and then Ohio, she graduated her bachelor's degree magna cum laude from Andrews University, Kettering campus in 1998. Miriam pursued her master's degree from Central Michigan University at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base campus in 2003. During that time, Miriam had completed clinical experience in a Level 3 NICU with Tulane University Medical Center and a Level 3 OB at Southern Baptist Hospital in New Orleans. Miriam moved to Ohio in 1985 and joined the Kettering Medical Center, now main campus, labor and delivery unit as a staff nurse. Her experience as a charge nurse and assistant nurse manager led to her first clinical nurse manager position at Kettering for the mother-baby unit and special care nursery. In early 2001, Miriam moved into the administrative director role for OB, then added women's services, which included women's med-surg areas, Kettering breast evaluation centers, and the Kettering reproductive medicine service, and a variety of interim director positions as well. The network service line role leader role was added in 2016. Miriam served in that role until her retirement from that position this past July, although she remains resource for support to the service line. She retired from her role as the network executive director. Miriam's full-time career has spanned over 47 years and almost 39 of them with Kettering Health. Throughout her career, Miriam has been blessed with amazing mentors and leaders, along with her strong Christian faith and the support of her husband and sons. Miriam would like to share her life scripture verse, Jeremiah 29, verse 11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." Please help me welcome Miriam Cartmel.
Is it yours? Good evening. I am really excited to be here. I look at all these graduates and I think, wow, look at you. 47 years ago, I was in a very similar position. Looking at springing into my chosen career, what a moment for you all. I'm so proud of you as I know what it took to get here and to graduate. So now I would like to share with you what I believe are some tips for success for your future. As you've just heard my life verse a couple of times, Jeremiah 29:11. So I'm going to say it again. Pretty soon we'll all be able to say it together. So, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord." Right? Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Now, we may not be the Jews in exile in Babylon as it was the time of that verse, but I still find such comfort and strength and encouragement over and over again when I have a path to choose or there's a new opportunity provided, chosen or assigned, to find comfort in that there is growth for me and a positive outcome because God has a plan. Okay, so navigating the rapids. A leader mentor once said to us, "You only make progress in the rapids, not in the calm waters." So think about it. What propels you forward? It's the rapids. I want to encourage you as you set forth. So we're going to look at some of the rapids that you may come across and how you can navigate them. First, what is your why? What inspired you to select nursing? Did you feel that you had a calling to serve? Maybe you had always been interested in a clinical area. For me, that was OB. That was my passion. That's really all I wanted to go to nursing school for, but they made me do the whole program. So what is yours? I mean, you may have ICU, ER, med-surg. Only once in my career have we ever had too many nurses. And that's probably an idea you can't relate to. But in 1976 in Ontario, Canada, we had a job shortage. And a new graduate could not even get an application in the door. So after 3 multiple jobs not in hospitals, in 1977, I decided to move to the US where they had a nursing shortage for 1 year, 46 years ago. So you never know where life is going to take you. So maybe you chose nursing because it's a steady way to provide for your family. So how can you make the most of it, no matter what your reason was for first entering into this career? How can you reach your goals and then set new ones, because it's ever evolving, and then be in love with the path and your purpose? We're going to talk about some of those things tonight. Graduation is such an opportunity for you to promote nursing career. It is so undersold compared to so many other careers. That's my personal belief there. And you have the opportunity to encourage others into the role of nursing. You have that influence. Nursing is flexible, and it always has new learnings. You have the opportunity of different shifts, different clinical settings, inpatient, outpatient, office work. You have the opportunity for different areas. Med-surg, OB, OR, you can change and apply to another area should you choose. Maybe one day you will be faculty. There are many options for you ahead. And that's why I think it's undersold. We have such benefits in that. You may have personal challenges in your life, daycare, schedules, health issues, your spouse schedule, whatever comes up, and you can adjust and change your path, navigate those rapids using your options. So you're going to be a new staff member. Does being the newbie make you nervous? No? Is that a rapid for you? So I'm going to strongly recommend that you be engaged. Ask questions. Work with your preceptors. You have ownership of your learning. So learn your new clinical area wherever you may land. Talk to your unit educators, get on health streams. There's all kinds of programs there where you can learn. Even just simple things that are not so simple, like reviewing forms. Now these days, you're gonna have EPIC as your form, not a stack of paper forms. But no, not all EPICs are alike. EPIC here, EPIC at Premier Health, Cincinnati, Springfield, they're all EPIC, but they may have different builds. And you may need to take the time to learn where you document. You learn what you need to ask the patient, and now where do you put it? So to help you as a newbie, take the time to learn that so you can build that confidence. I'm also going to recommend strongly, it's not just about the tasks, stay out of the break room. So when you get your feet settled, you've had your orientation, you have full patient assignments, yes, you will have the break room for your breaks. But while you're in that learning phase as the new graduate in orientation, you are not going to learn a new skill set in the break room. You need to be out there with your professional colleagues, and you need to, once again, own your learning. If there is a procedure you haven't seen or haven't done, ask. I've never seen a blood transfusion. I hear we're having one today. Can I come and watch? Do those sort of things. Even when I was a student, I had several rotations in a row where I did not give an IM injection. So I started to get really nervous about that, and my next med-surg rotation, I said, I need to give an IM injection. Well, the floor staff heard that, and I got to give like everybody's PRN meds. They were thrilled. I could have probably done it from the doorway by the time we were done with that rotation. But I had to speak out because I was the one who knew that was a shortcoming for me, was to be able to do that. Be proud when you accomplish a new skill, a new piece of work, and share that. Maybe share it with the next newbie that comes along. This is how I felt, and here's how I can help you. To maneuver that set of rapids, being the new person, learning is active, not passive. Okay, so I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about professional growth. So much of your commitment in your career will hinge on, again, your active participation. If you just sit and wait for knowledge, wait for confidence, for a promotion to come to you, then you may end up discontent and disappointed. You have to participate. Join your professional organizations, whatever clinical area you land in. Associations for ER nurses, there's association for OR, for OB and newborn, for neonatal, and the largest one, med-surg. And they all have chapters in Southwest Ohio, so right around you. They offer in-services, state conferences, national conferences. Now, when you go to one of these conferences, when I would send team members, I have a couple of team members in the audience, so they've heard this before. You need to come back with 2 names, 2 contacts, 2 emails, somebody you can call, and that's how you start networking. And you can network all across the country and pick up the phone or email and say, hey, we're thinking of doing this at my organization. Have you done this? How did it work? Is there anything you can share? And that will serve you for many, many years to come. Another piece of professional growth, certification. Now, that is not an immediate rapid for you to navigate because you have to be eligible to be certified. But my first one was RNCOB, which stands for Inpatient Obstetrics, in 1990. It was so meaningful to me to validate and wear on my badge that I knew my stuff. And also to maintain it, required contact hours are involved, so that keeps you in that constant learning mode. And I was never taking that exam again anyway, so it better be the contact hours. The second one that I took after I became a director in 2001 was the Nurse Executive Advanced Board Certified. Yes, I had to study. Yes, I had to learn new things, but it validated again that I had made that commitment and achieved the level of a nurse executive. You know, sure, there is a fee for this, but you are investing in your future. So it is well worth it to prepare you to help you again propel forward in the future. So when you get kind of sorted out of where you think your career path might go, put this down as a personal goal, work towards it, make it part of the plans for you and for your growth. Be flexible. As you hit your staff positions, be flexible. So let's say you're taking this whitewater rafting, navigating the rapids, and you're supposed to have 7 men in this rubber boat. I've never done it. It looks terrifying to me, but I'm sure there's some people out there who have. But somebody doesn't show up. So I do know from family members who have done it, they can still go on with their planned day, but they have to redistribute because they have to get the weight right in the boat and the supplies right. But you can have that happen to you at work. You come to work, there are not the number of people there that you thought there would be, or perhaps it's a shift in the skill mix, the number of RNs to nursing assistants. So what do? Here are those rapids again. Now you can whine and essentially go in circles, but that will not propel you forward at all. Or you can take this moment to be creative and maybe come up with a new staffing model for that shift. Maybe you go to team nursing for that shift. But part of the biggest advantage that you can bring to the table in that situation is to be the cheerleader. Show your leadertude. You set the tone. If you begin to cheer on others and say, "We got this," they're going to join you as well. Create a team purpose for that shift. And then thank everyone. Let's talk about another rapid, floating. Y'all heard of floating? A few nods out there. So it's not always a favorite thing for nurses, but I look at it differently. First, you all just came through an unprecedented time in history. You've been forced to be creative and adapt to the program itself daily as we went through the pandemic. No one else has done that. So if you can do that, why would a shift of floating rock your world? You've had it on a daily adjustment basis. Take this as an opportunity to try out something new. No one would expect you to be the expert when you floated there, never having been there before, but it is something new that you are exposed to. Learn from someone new. Make a new colleague. You can handle anything for one shift. Some of my most memorable experiences have been floating or even as an interim director. So it doesn't change even when you get into leadership. Did I know the areas? Certainly not. I was provided the opportunity to work with the dialysis unit for about 8 months as an interim director. I didn't know where the department was. I had to ask, where is dialysis? But I knew people, and I got to learn dialysis, and I learned a whole new world that I've not seen before. In 2015, I was assigned the trauma department at Kettering main campus, which is a level 2 trauma, for their validation survey coming up in 3 months. So I downloaded a 222-page manual and got to work. But what I can tell you from that experience, I made many new friends and colleagues that I had never met in the system before, and I am proud to call them friends to this day. I also saw some of the processes that they used in another department, the trauma department, that I thought, that's better than my process. So I adopted it and brought it back to my area, and it brought in my worldview of healthcare. So I tell you this just to let you know there may always be a chance to be exposed to a new area, no matter where you are in your career. But it works both ways. So when you are the host to someone floating to your area, welcome them, orient them, give them a positive buddy. Say, come on, let me show you the essentials. Like, where's the supply room, the break room, and the bathroom? Get them started on their day. Thank them. Help them have that learning moment. And you're helping them navigate the rapids that day. Closed doors may happen. Rapids. It's hard to see why that job did not happen. It's hard to see why the shift change you requested didn't happen. That change in your department or scope did happen. At least it's hard to see it in the moment. And sometimes it's many years later before you can figure it out. But wallowing in grief or anger will lead to bitterness and, again, not move you forward, not propel you forward. When I was a student, I already said I just wanted to go do OB. So throughout my nursing education, I excelled in my OB courses. So when it came time to apply for my senior practicum, guess what area I applied for? OB. And the school said, no. They said, you are already strong enough in OB and you need to go learn something else. So I was assigned to ortho. That's not OB. When I moved to New Orleans, as I mentioned, Tulane University Medical Center, I was hired for labor and delivery. Brand new hospital, ground up, opened its doors December of '76. I moved there May of '77. And guess what? When I got there, they had not opened up OB. They had decided to hold on that. So they offered me med-surg or ortho and neuro. It's like, I get it now. But I didn't know that at the time. So you need to always have that continued support, I would say, in your mind that God has a plan. Self-care, navigating work-life balance, navigating those rapids. Now, if you talk to many leaders in this network who know me, you may hear how much I love vacation. I am often teased about it, sometimes in big forums even. But I do use my PTO. Now, I am not one to be sick because I try to stay healthy, because every time there's a sick day, that's a beach day I'm not going to get. So I take care of my PTO. Besides having a good time, it serves a very healthy purpose. It is time to reset, recharge, renew, reestablish your energy and your focus. For those research type folks, there are many, many studies done on this topic to validate that it's not just Miriam who loves her PTO time. But I got to tell you, one thing that's really important is your family deserves it. They have supported your work. They have supported you through hours of homework. They will support you when you start your clinical careers. And when you're just about to head home as the clock strikes 7, and that's when the code happens, the emergency happens, something happens that requires you to be an hour and a half late. Or you need to call in someone to pick up your kids. Or on your day off, you pick up the phone and say, yes, I will come in and work today because you need help. And your family supports that. And this way, you need to also be able to give them that downtime with you. So for me and all the many rapids in my life is prayer. I am a woman of faith, and my personal faith is that this is God's purpose and plan for my life. My desire is to end my career with job well done, good and faithful servant. For me, I pray for my patients, my team, my leaders. Now I will pray for you tonight and ask for blessings on your career choices, on your decisions, that you would feel support and peace as you move forward. And I give thanks for all the blessings that we have along the way. So back to the beginning. Look at you. I'm so excited to see you. I always loved having students work with me and having students come as new grads into my areas. I always loved that. What an exciting time ahead. So be inspired. Have no fear of those rapids. Move forward with confidence as you are going to conquer them. And back to Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Thank you.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and fellow nursing graduates of Kettering College, class of 2023. My name is Gabby Coleman, and today is a momentous occasion, a celebration of dedication, perseverance, and the culmination of years of hard work. Nursing is not merely a profession, it is a calling, a noble vocation that demands compassion, skill, and commitment to the well-being of those we serve. We, as the class of 2023, would like to thank all of our clinical instructors and professors for building us up to who we are today. From the first semester nursing students scared to take a manual blood pressure and pass medications, to the nursing professionals we are now, for instilling confidence in our skills and knowledge. We would especially like to thank one of our clinical instructors, Diana Holland. I personally had Diana 2 semesters in a row, and am forever grateful for her guidance and support. She taught me how to critically think through my patient's diagnosis and medications and encouraged me to research my questions. Diana always went above and beyond to help us understand concepts better. Another person we would like to thank is Professor Melinda Hopkins, who always knew me because of the green winter hat I wore all the time in class. Thank you for setting up different interactive activities for us and helping us to understand the course material better. We appreciate how you spent your time and effort to set up class and go over case studies with us. We will forever be grateful to you for being an inspiring professor. The guidance and support from all of our professors and clinical instructors have been invaluable for our growth as medical professionals. I am forever grateful for all the time and effort each of you put into every teaching session. We would also like to thank our family and friends. We couldn't have gotten through this without you. Thank you for sticking by our side through thick and thin, and for letting us practice our skills on you and helping us to study. There were times when we felt like giving up, but you were there to support us through the last 3 busy and stressful years. I realized how important it is to have friends and family who will be there for you when things get tough. Thank you for always being there for us, even if we couldn't always be there for you. And finally, to my fellow classmates, we have laughed together, cried together, had nervous breakdowns together, and most importantly, made new friends. friends that we share a common bond with. When you first enter nursing school, they tell you that no one is going to understand what you are going through unless they have been there themselves. For the most part, this is true. No one can truly understand the way nursing school warps your mind to think in terms of critical thinking unless they've been there. No one else can continue to eat their Mexican food while discussing the bowel patterns of your newest admission, and no one else would get excited when you call and tell them you saw the coolest wound or procedure last night. I'm sure we all have different stories and experiences, but there are a few things that I think we all can relate to, like getting up super early for clinicals, the late night studying, and the first time doing a checkoff. I'm sure we can almost do physical assessments and take vitals with our eyes closed now. Some of us have had different journeys getting here, some have switched colleges, some have had to take a semester off, and others have needed to retake a class and remediate, but we are all here now and have made it. As we embark on our separate nursing careers, I urge you to always remember the essence of our profession, to see beyond the illness or injury and embrace the humanity of every individual who crosses your path. Each patient has a unique story, fears, hopes, and dreams, and it is our duty to listen attentively and to offer solace and to provide care that goes beyond the physical, encompassing the emotional and spiritual aspects of healing. Embrace opportunities for continuous education and remain curious about the ever-evolving field of healthcare. Seek out mentors who will guide you and inspire you. Nursing is not a solitary endeavor. It is a collaborative effort that requires effective communication, teamwork, and mutual respect. Be an advocate for your patients, ensuring their voices are heard, rights respected, and their needs met. Always remember that self-care is not a luxury. It is an essential component of your ability to care for others. Nurture your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Remember to seek support when needed and never hesitate to ask for help. As Florence Nightingale once said, I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse. Thank you, everyone.
Mr. President, I give you with great pride and excitement these candidates who have been evaluated and reviewed by our faculty and have met the outcomes for the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing and the Doctorate of Occupational Therapy.
Thank you, Dean Reams. Graduates, we are proud of you. Your faculty have worked hard to educate you and have worked you hard. And they're proud of you. And they have recommended to us that you be awarded the degrees to which you are entitled. This is a special ceremony. It is a combination of a pinning ceremony and a degree conferral ceremony. It is a special ceremony where you will be presented, conferred your degree by the leadership of the college, and you will be pinned by a fellow nurse. And in so doing, you will join the ranks of that most esteemed profession. And so, candidates, by the power vested in me by the board of directors of Kettering College in the state of Ohio, and on the recommendation of the faculty of Kettering College, I hereby bestow upon you the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Nursing and of Occupational Therapy. Graduates, please prepare for your pinning and to receive your diplomas.
Hello. I have the privilege to call the names of all the students for the BSNP program and LPN to BSN. And I'll ask you gently to clap hands at the end of all the names because I'll be reading some goals of the students and thankfulness. And if we clap after each student, the families will not be able to hear that, okay? So let's start. Felicie Grace Liu Renan. Regina Agaz Davis. Grace plans on working as a NICU nurse and help the most vulnerable population that needs the most care and support. She thanks God for his blessings and mercy. A special thank you to my husband Bryce for always helping me study and make study guides during my nursing school career. I wouldn't be here without him. Thank you to Mom and Dad Jordan for their unconditional love and support. Regina, after graduation, I plan to work as a registered nurse in Kettering Health and gain more bedside experience. My goal is to advance my nursing role as a nurse practitioner. I want to thank my school mentors, my extended family from abroad, my 2 sons, my husband who believe in me more than I believe in myself, and to our Heavenly Father for never-ending blessings. Heather Williams, Gabby Coleman. Heather intends to working within ICU for Kettering Health and considering continuing education to CRNA or NP, also considering looking into becoming a clinical instructor later on. I want to thank all of those who supported me in this journey along the way, my family for their never-ending help, my friends that I have made within the cohort who have kept me sane, and the professors and instructors who see me through. Gabi, my future goals are to pass NCLEX, become an OR nurse for a couple of years, and eventually get my doctorate and CRNA license one day. Thank you to my wonderful fiancé and all the support from my family, my clinical instructors, teachers, and preceptors for shaping me into the nurse I am today. Anya Alexandria Barrett. Chloe Anderson. Anya hopes to work in pediatric nursing. I have ambitions to get my PhD in nursing, God willing. I could not have succeeded without the Lord, my mom, and my family, both biological and chosen. Chloe accepted a job in the pulmonary step-down unit at Kettering Main Hospital and working towards her goal of being a critical care nurse. She would like to thank her family, friends, and fiancé for supporting me through this journey. Brooke Bowman, Regine Gray. Brooke, after graduation, I'm working at Dayton Children's in the emergency room and plan to be a travel trauma RN after a few years. Her thanks are to her grandma, who has been my biggest supporter through nursing school. I'll not be here today without her. Regine plans to work in cardiac intensive care or pulmonology. I later on plan to return to school for nurse practitioner and eventually obtain my own practice. Thank you to my mom, who has already been my #1 supporter, and to my family and friends who have been by my side and cheer me on during this life-changing nurse journey. Elia Adam, Ashley Hassard. Elia will be continuing her career in cardiac critical care. She would like to thank her family for supporting her. Ashley, future plans are to develop her passion for taking care of others into an aspired career and advocate for those who are unable to advocate for themselves. I would like to thank my mom and my family and friends for all their support. Skylar Owens and Taylor Craigo. Skylar plans on work as a pediatric nurse at Dayton Children's on the specialty care unit. She would like to thank her family for supporting her through her journey. Taylor plans to be a cardiac nurse. She also would like to thank her family for their support. Joy Jackson, Sarah Ann Howman. Joy's goal is to become a midwife and address the high mortality rate of laboring women in the West and bridge the gap of healthcare disparities for minority individuals. She's a very proud mom of 7 beautiful children. Being your mom is my biggest and greatest accomplishment. Thank you to my husband for all your support. Thank you, Mom, for raising me to be Joy. Sarah would like to work as a labor and delivery nurse. She wants to thank her family and kids for all their support and encouragement during her journey through school. Carolina Victoria Lozano. Krista Lee Ming Wells. Carolina plans to work as a trauma nurse and later become a pediatric nurse. She would like to thank her mom. Thank you for being there every step of the way. I love you, Mom, forever and every day. Krista, after graduation, planned to work for about a year or so before returning to school to obtain my master's degree. Megan Michelle Sane, Christopher Lee Thompson. Megan, after graduation, will be working in the trauma floor and continue to grow her new nursing knowledge. I wouldn't be here today without the love and support from my husband and family. I can't thank them enough for everything. Christopher starts working on a med-surg unit, and then will go back for his master's degree and will go into critical care as a nurse practitioner. Madeline K. Valiante, Anja K. Montin. Madeline plans to work for Kettering Health and work on 5 South, the pulmonary unit at Kettering. I would also like to continue my education to get my master's after a few years of working. Anja plans to work as an ICU nurse at Kettering Miamisburg, do medical mission work, and continue her education to become a family nurse practitioner. She wants to thank God for his guidance. Thanks to my family and friends for the trust and support. Special thanks to my boyfriend for having my back. Iman Shihade, Gabriel Alexis Marrero. Iman plans to work in pediatric critical care for several years while receiving more nursing certifications. Afterwards, she plans to follow God's call to service in humanitarian work. She's saying, I'm being pinned by the mother of my late best friend, Genesis Vasquez. I entered nursing in her honor, and I continue nursing in the path of God in her memory. Gabrielle, upon her graduation, I plan to continue my education at The Ohio State University to obtain my doctorate in women's health as a nurse practitioner and become a midwife. I plan on becoming a holistic caregiver that represents and serves minority communities through women's health in inner cities. Her thanks, I owe my degree to my husband and my family, who has supported myself and my education endlessly throughout the years. Deanna Thompson. They love you. I plan on working in pediatric critical care and eventually returning to school and getting my master's. I would first like to thank God for his continued strength, favor, and guidance through my college journey. I also like to thank my family and friends from near and far for pouring into me with their support and love. I appreciate and love you all. This concludes the BSNP and LPN to BSNP students pinning.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Lynette Williams, and it's proud to announce the Accelerated BSN track graduates. Hannah Hardy, Christy Kiefaber. Hannah's plans is to start in the medical surgical unit and later become a NICU nurse. She would like to thank her fiance and her family for supporting her through this. Christy will begin a position on an oncology unit and plans to continue her education and pursue an MSN degree. She would like to thank her husband, Andy, and her son, Warren, her parents for helping her out, and for her brother for answering her questions. And for her sister for watching her son. She would also like to thank faculty Dr. Williams, Professor Hatcher, Steve Sasman, for their kindness and support. Allie Johnson. Rose Smith. Allie's plans are to work in the NICU and continue her education. She would like to thank Professor Kim Hatcher, Jude Venanzi, and her wonderful classmates. Rose's final end goal is to become a nurse midwife and improve maternity care for women of color. She could not have accomplished this without her family and friends. And to the family who couldn't be here today, she hopes to make them proud. Hannah Chung, Yoonji Park, Hannah is undecided on what she will do in the future, but she is interested in being a surgery nurse. She would like to thank her parents for supporting her across the globe and friends for cheering her on the whole way. Yoonji will begin her career working in the ICU, where she hopes to provide critical care and support. She wants to express her heartfelt gratitude for her family and for God for blessing her with all the love and support she received through the nursing school. Rachel Larabina, Sean Kelty, Rachel will begin working as a NICU nurse at Dayton Children's Hospital. A special thanks to her husband and parents for getting her through nursing school. Sean plans on bridging the RN and paramedic and attempting to go on to care flight. 5 years down the road, he wants to consider a master's degree. He would like to thank Professor Kim Hatcher. Aurora Turner, Samantha Bagay, Aurora's goal is to provide meaningful quality nursing care to her patients as a trauma nurse before continuing her education and pursuing a nurse practitioner degree in the future. She would like to thank her family for her continued support, especially for her husband, Jordan. Samantha plans to work in the ICU setting and as a forensic nurse, providing care for those at their most vulnerable. After gaining experience, her goal is to continue her nursing education, following either a nurse practitioner or a CRNA route. She wants to thank God, her family, and friends for supporting her and encouraging her to keep going when she wanted to quit, and for listening tirelessly to all of her nursing stories. And now, Dr. Shanice Higgins will announce the Occupational Therapy Doctorate graduate.
Good evening. Dr. Anais Vanessa Nicholas Doctoral Capstone Project, Connect with OT Pathway Program, Increasing Diversity in Occupational Therapy. Anais's plans are first to take and successfully pass her occupational therapy certification exam, and then pursue a practice with a focus on geriatric populations. She would like to thank her family, friends, Professor Michelle Williams, and the KC OTD department for supporting her throughout her journey.
please stand for the benediction. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for each and every graduate today. Thank you for the support system you've given each of us. Thank you for keeping and guiding us through this journey. I pray we allow you to be seen through our actions as nurses. I pray you will continue to watch over us and protect us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. You may be seated.